guys, it's Kathy and I'm back with another process video for Trim Your Stash. So this is my 10th in the series, and for now will probably be my last because I'm going to start doing some Christmas ones leading up to Christmas. Duh. I never think these voiceovers through, obviously. So what I was just showing you guys there was I had this paper and it already had the word wish cut out. It was like a pre-cut out paper that Heidi Swapp had a while ago. She had a bunch of them in a paper pad that said stuff like wish and happy and enjoy and whatever. So I happen to have the wish one. I just found it randomly while I was going through my stash, and I thought, well, that would actually be great for a Christmas layout, even though it's not a Christmas paper, but I mean, it definitely translates into Christmas. And I apologize if you hear door slamming. My husband just arrived home, and my room is right by the front entrance. So I'm certain he's going to come in here in 5 minutes because he doesn't understand the concept of a closed door. But what I did was I used embroidery floss. I split it in half so that once it went through the needle and I wrapped it around, it was 6 strands. So it's still the same thickness, but I did the wrapping around the needle and tying it at the end that you kind of normally do for stitching. So that's how I always do mine. If I want to do 6 strands, I could have divided into like 2 strands and then have 4 in the end. So then I backed it with a piece of, it's a 6x6 piece from an old basic gray line that is, it was really beautiful. It had a lot of like blacks and blues and greens and just colors I loved. So I decided to finally use that piece of paper with the with the florals on it. It's been hoarding in my stash for a while, and that wish paper has been, I completely forgot I even had it, so it was great to kind of go through and realize I could use this. And the back paper that I backed the whole thing onto is actually kind of like a red foil candy cane, and it's from like the very first Christmas paper pad I ever bought. So I don't know, maybe 2010 or before that. I'm not sure, and I think it was just a Michaels brand and or something like that, and it's been in my stash ever since because I bought it thinking I would want to use it and never used it. And I mean, some of that is because it's got that foil. Oh, there's a lot of door slamming going on right now, but I really liked the accent of that foil just peeking out around the rest of the layout. So I grabbed a bunch of papers also from my stash. That one's called Piccadilly, and it's from a basic gray line. The green one that you see there is from a K & Company paper pad I bought a while ago, and the blue one is from a Recollections paper pad that I bought a long time ago. And the winter scene one up at the top is from October Afternoon, and I cannot remember the name of the line it came from, but I have everything from that line because a long time ago they had this huge package at when Scraptastic used to do kits and everything, and they had it on sale for Christmas or Black Friday or something. This was like 2013 or something like that, or 2014, I don't know. Anyway, and they had like the whole thing, including the stamps, and they had it reduced to like an insanely cheap price. And I was like, well, I really like most of it. I'm not going to use the stamps because at the time I didn't use stamps, but I bought the whole thing. And so I've been slowly using it up. And there's an 8x8 paper pad, and there was also full size 12x12 papers. And I already used the 12x12 of that type. And so now I'm using most of the 8x8. And originally, this whole idea with Trim Your Stash was based around that October Afternoon collection. I was like, I'm going to use up as much of that collection as I can. I don't end up using a whole lot of it. I end up using a bunch of other stuff. But I do use some, so I was happy about that. I'm going through a pack of, this is a whole bunch of Christmas ephemera mixed together. And I believe the majority of it is old October afternoon ephemera pieces. And they're all very vintage inspired, very like cream. So I am going to have to mix that with some white to just not make it too obvious. And I grabbed some of my old sticker sheets and chipboard sheets, and I happen to have that pink ribbon that says Merry Christmas Darling, and it's from a My Mind's Eye chipboard pack that I bought, I think last year or the year before. I just bought the chipboard packs. I didn't buy any of the papers because I knew I could use them with other stuff. So I was just worried about getting too many Christmas papers because I have a lot of Christmas papers. I also apologize if you guys can hear my daughter crying. She has decided to start crying, probably for attention. So I'm really hoping my husband kind of takes care of it. But I may have to stop and go. Halfway through this, my Tombow runner broke. And that happened in the last video too. It broke, and I don't know why. I've had this same runner and bought those replacements for several years now. And this is the first time that I have had one of those replacements cartridges break on me. And basically it splits in two, just like an ATG, and like, anyway. And part of it rolls around inside and collects there, and the other part is the sticky part. And it just stopped working. So I took it out, and I was using it like double-sided tape, essentially. So I would lay it down and peel it up, and the tape part would stay. So that's 2 out of the 3 in a pack, and so I have no more, so I'm going to have to buy more, and I'm really hoping that the next ones don't break, or Tombow's going to be getting a strongly worded email. And then my cat Piper, who, she hasn't been in one of the videos yet. She was, the other one was Zoe, and she kept jumping up. She decided to join me multiple times. I think I counted about 6. So I had to keep taking her down because she just kept wanting to jump up. And eventually I just had to cut out a whole bunch of me trying to get her off my table, and then eventually I had to go and kick her out and shut the door because she wouldn't stop jumping up. And she's really sweet and I really love her, but I'm just trying to get this video done. So those were the 2 ephemera pieces I used, and or the 3 ones that I end up using. I do switch this around a lot. I pretty much lay out all, see, she's back, and there's even more, and I cut that out times that she jumps up. And she is a sweetheart. But yeah, I end up laying down all my ephemera and my embellishments and everything that I want to do, and then I kind of change my mind, and I have to go and remove stuff and everything like that. And I just cut out the part where you had to watch me do the double-sided tape thing with my Tombow. I love that record. I thought it was a great addition because it's bringing in a different shape. So it's not all just square stuff now. And also it's bringing in another dark object because the wish is dark. So I am going to add a 3rd dark kind of black embellishment to accent all that. And these stickers are from that same October Afternoon collection, and they're poinsettias, and they're quite pretty, and I thought I was going to use them. I do eventually remove them when I start putting other stuff on. And I don't know why, but I decided to bring in pink into the layout eventually. I was not originally going to do it, but then I had that piece, and then I had those pieces, and then I wanted to use both of them, and so that's when I realized, okay, I'm going to bring in some pink. It's not in any of the papers, and it's not even really in the photo. She's wearing gray and white and a little red headband, and she's holding a white bow, like a bow for wrapping, and the tree has a red and white deer ribbon, kind of like a Nordic design behind it. So, you know, there's mostly whites and greens and reds going on, but I just liked the accent of the pink. I thought it just, I don't know, it just kind of changed it up a little bit so it wasn't too traditional. of a layout, because I find that's a thing when I do my Christmas layouts, is they start looking really super traditional. Not quite the style that I normally go with. So I kind of struggle with my Christmas layouts. I do. I really, really struggle with my Christmas layouts, even though I have so much to work with. And I don't know why. It's just something about scrapbooking holidays. It throws me for a loop every time. So I am starting, fingers crossed, because I haven't been having so many issues trying to get videos out and getting time to work on stuff. So my fingers are crossed. I'm going to be doing a 12 Days Christmas starting, I think, this Saturday and going right till Christmas. There's going to be a few days where it's not one of those videos, but that's because I'm part of a few different, like, other things that are going on. So there'll be other videos instead of that one. But I should have 12 videos out before Christmas. I love that mouse. It's so cute. And it brought in more pink. And the whole main point was to use like some of the big stickers from that October afternoon. And I was originally going to use deer. And then I was like, okay, I'm never going to use these mice. So as you can see, I switched a whole bunch, like of quite a few things. I ended up removing the poinsettias. I had to move a bunch of stuff around, and I finally got one of the mice was chipboard, and I got him up at the top with the mistletoe, and then the other mouse had the cookie. And so I brought some green down with the mouse with the cookie, just to accent off the mistletoe. And I decided to bring in a few pieces of an old, I think this is Pink Fresh Studios like first Christmas collection, and it is more of a stark white, so this really helps contrast the cream in all those ephemera pieces. And it's just some sayings and stuff like that, so I thought that worked quite well with the total layout. And I think that mouse eating the cookie is so cute. And I don't know, I just thought there was something, like the deer were cute, but there was just something about the mice. Like, when am I ever going to use them again? I just thought that they went so well, because she's just, you know, cute little mouse. She's so tiny and sweet. So I end up removing that other white, or that other circular piece, and I keep the wish, which is my other piece of dark embellishments that helps make a visual triangle. So trying to do several visual triangles. There's green in 3 different spots. There's pink in 3 different spots. And like I'm doing it consciously, but also subconsciously, because it looks right and it looks good to me. So I'm just kind of going based on that. And then I decided to bring in some more sparkle, because the only thing sparkly was the background paper. And this is a piece of trim, like fabric trim, that I bought at Michael's, and it's all tiny little sequins, and I just thought it was nice to bring in a little bit more blue, because there was some blue like in the paper, but then there was nothing really else. So those sequins are just kind of, that sequin trim is just, I just glued it down and tucked it in, and I just like the little extra bit of sparkle that it gives. So I wanted to write Christmas wish, and I picked these white ones, but they're really stark white, like too white. They're not a warm white, they're a cool white. So I just don't like it. It's too big. I want something very small, but I don't really have anything good that's really short and small. That's not going to be, it would be really noticeable. So I'm going to try my hand at some handwriting, and I'm not going to do anything super fancy, because I'm not good at doing that, and I just worry. I do practice a little bit just to make sure that my writing is up to par before I do it. But I'm just going to use a black pen, and I'm just going to do simple not calligraphy, simple cursive to do it. So I'm just making sure that I can write Christmas nicely, and the word one and stuff like that. So I end up writing One Little Christmas, and then of course it's One Little Christmas Wish. And I like how that turned out. I just like it. And I did a little designing at the ends so that it fit all the way down. The only other thing I do is I do try to use my Delusions white linen, or whatever it's called, spray. I try to mist around, and it does not work. It eventually just seeps in. So in the end, I ended up putting white, and I'm waiting to see if it soaks in, and it doesn't, so I do use it, and then I notice it is soaking in. So I do end up just using white acrylic paint in the end. So yeah, that's it. Pictures are coming up. Thank you guys for joining me with this series. Hopefully I might pick it up in the new year, and I will see you all in the next video. I hope you'll all join me for all the holiday stuff that I have coming up. So yeah, eventually I'm going to wave, and yeah, later days. Hey guys, in case you didn't know, I have started a Patreon channel, so if anybody wants to help support my YouTube channel as well as some of the scrappy adventures that are coming up, I would really appreciate it. Even $1 a month really helps out. But even if you just like and subscribe and comment, that really helps as well. Thank you so much and have an awesome day.